this computer. Well, welcome everyone. I am very excited to be sharing this new launch of a brand new acrylic. My name is Kim Fjordbotten. I'm owner of the Paint Spot, and I'm an artist, an art educator, and of course I love art materials, so art's pretty important around here. I have worked for Paint Spot for a long time. We're celebrating our 40th anniversary in May, and I've been here for 31 years of that. And Schmincke has been a part of Paint Spot that whole time. So we've always had Horadam watercolors, Schmincke pastels, Mussini oils, and now we have acrylics. It's pretty exciting. So this presentation is going to happen in 3 parts. One part is me sharing a bit of a slideshow and some lovely visuals. The second part will be nice demonstration, putting the products to use. While I'm doing the presentation, if there's something you really want to see me demonstrate, do mark it in the chats, and I can hopefully cover that when it goes face down and you can see what I'm working on. And then the third part is I'm going to attempt to paint live one of my little birds. And you know how paintings go. Sometimes it's good and sometimes we'll get back to it another time. So if it's going good, I'm going to end on the good note and you can paint along with me and we'll just, roll on. If it's going bad, we'll end it promptly at 8:30 and I will thank you for your time. But if at any time when I'm painting the bird that you want to go and leave, you can. We're just going to see how the bird painting goes. So yeah, 3 parts to this presentation. It is recorded. I will share it later. Also, tomorrow before lunchtime, you will get an email from me that will have a link to the color chart and brochure, as well as a link to the recording, a reminder about the promo code, and anything else I promise to get back to you on. Hopefully I can get the answers in time to send it out tomorrow. So feel free to ask lots of questions. So yeah, I'm just going to share my screen, which seemed real easy to do earlier. And we'll go to the presentation, which I think share. Yay, do you see my presentation just like that?
Yes.
Fantastic. Am I in the corner anywhere? No?
Lower left-hand corner-ish.
Okay. Is it just me and a little weird silhouette? Like I'm just all by, oh, that's really funny. There you go. I'm really funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay. So yes, so Schmincke has been around since 1881. Yeah, they're 144 years old. And I had to look it up. It was back in 2016 that I actually traveled to Schmincke with my friend Annette, who owns Kensington Art in Calgary. We had a lovely tour of the factory. So some of this reaffirmed everything I believe about how lovely this company is to deal with as far as quality control and beautiful materials and taking care of their employees, really responsible. So I'm a big fan of Schmincke. I love their products, so I'm happy to share them. Oh, I buried my keyboard. How do you forward these? Maybe I just have to scroll. Oopsie. I see. Hey, Michelle. How do you pronounce this Italian?
I'm studying Latin, not Italian.
Oh, it is Latin. Sorry, you can read Latin.
Oh, Meliora cogito? I have no idea. It's a dead language. Just kidding.
I think you're correct. That is Schmincke's motto. You can see it here on the their crest, and it means I strive for the best. And Schmincke translates to makeup or cosmetics, if you've ever wondered where the name Schmincke came from. But they are known for their precise recipes and attention to detail. And we'll see it in the products. Oh, I'm entering another one.
Oh,
so first and foremost, they launched with Horadam watercolors back in 1881. And it was Joseph Horadam that was partners with the Schmincke family, Hesse family, that started Schmincke. So also a fun fact is that Grumbacher has a history with Schmincke in that when the war came, the recipes for all the paint was safely sent over to America with a gentleman who was given blessings to start his own paint company. And so, yeah, Grumbacher started as Schmincke. So that's cool. Now Schmincke is still here and Grumbacher is not really as known anymore. That's interesting. So the watercolors, we of course carry them all. They are in 5 mil, 15 mil, half pans and full pans and beautiful sets. They've been around forever. We also launched with all the beautiful granulating colors. We have those in stock. We have the Hordem Naturals, which are organic pigments made from earth. And then we have Aquadrop, which are the perfectly diluted liquid watercolors, lovely to draw with, good for pen and ink. Light fast is their claim to fame. And then we have all the mediums for watercolor. So it's a very well-rounded group of products. Pastels and more, of course, we've got the Schmincke pastels. The softest, most unified line of pastels out there, 525 colors, pure pigment at your fingertips. And this old company is inventing some of the neatest products. We talked about liquid watercolor and their naturals. They've also done what I call liquid drawing materials. So we have the coal, liquid coal, which is made from charcoal, burnt seeds of fruit. So grape seed, cherry pits, and peach pits. So you have all the nice tones of gray to work with. They are something you can draw with, lift with, have that nice gradation of tone. I call it drawing with liquid. And similar, they have the liquid earth. So these are some of the newer items they've come up with as well. They are foremost known for their oil paints, and we stock the line of Mussini, which is unique on the market in that it is not just a linseed oil paint, but it also has damar resin in it, which gives it its wonderful body and its luminosity and its paint handling quality that is nobody beats it. The pigment load is also special. When they mill the paint and run it through the system, they actually keep the paint in vats for 6 months. They age it like fine wine. And what that does is that any excess oil comes to the top. It is scraped away, and then only the concentrated product is put in the tube. So you have very, very high quality oil paint in that tube. The price reflects it, but you do get what you pay for. And then they have invented medium W. If you wanted to get away from painting solvents in your studio and you want a medium that cleans up, medium W from Schmincke can mix with any traditional oil and turn it into a water-soluble water cleanup product. And then Norma Blue was launched last year, and it is a beautiful water-soluble oil. I know if you've tried water-soluble oils in the past, you might have had an icky feeling about them. This we took on a camping trip a couple years ago. It paints just like oil. It is really delicious. So Norma Blue also has their own line of mediums. So oil paints, we have them. Oopsie. Speaking of oil paints, I love old tubes. I just love looking at the history of the tubes of paint. So this is when I started using Mussini, is 1988. And they do reinvent their products about every 20 to 50 years. They revamp the line. So we did have a number of new colors, new light fast colors come through in 2000, and then the new labeling came through in 2021. Pretty cool. I just love this old picture too of the inks. The original ink from 1912 had a cute little bottle and was relaunched again in 2022. So reinventing a line every 20 to 50 years does give you this responsibility to get it right. And also to think about this new paint that you're launching has to last you for another 20 to 50 years. So 2025 was the year they're launching their new PrimACRYL acrylics. And they took a lot of things into consideration with this product. If you're going to launch a new acrylic, especially in the North American market, you better do something really special. And I'm having a hard time describing PrimACRYL because I've been a staunch Golden user for a really long time, and all the vocabulary I have for the best quality acrylics all got used up with Golden. So how do I talk about PrimACRYL now? But it has what you expect. It has the highest light fastness rating. 2/3 of the line are single pigment colors, which are really important. If you're doing color mixing, you want those gorgeous colors to glow. They have a very smart, I would say, reduced line of 90 colors they're launching with. I mean, some paint companies have huge lines and a lot of pre-mixed colors, but these are 90 colors and most of them are single pigments. So Heavy Body has 90 colors, fluids come in 48 colors. So recognizing that microplastics are an issue, the consideration of how you go forward making acrylics, from the packaging right to how you're processing the paints, is something that they're considering. So microplastics are really the secondary issue where things are breaking down. Either you're washing your synthetic clothing or you're throwing out your products and they're, you know, rolling around in our oceans or tumbling through in our rivers. Those microplastics are getting into our water supply, and there's all sorts of health hazards that are coming. So having things that are made more responsibly is better. Also, liquid plastics have fewer side effects than solid plastics. So having a good care of what your paint containers are made out of is really important. So we have now, Schmincke's containers are not only made from recycled materials, but they also can be recycled again. So that is, I think, a wonderful, responsible thing to do. Certainly in the market, we're seeing a lot of brand new acrylics coming out that are bio-based oils. This is made out of corn and crops. Everything from packaging, agriculture, pharmaceutical, cosmetics, everybody's moving to bio-based oils, which sounds really responsible, right? We don't have to rely on petroleum. Schmincke said, wait a minute, in 50 years, we think food crops, food shortage is going to be a big issue. And we don't want our products competing with land, you know, trying to grow bio crops instead of growing food. So they have decided to choose a different source. So yeah, I also believe that we should stop our reliance on mono agriculture and cash crops and use our land and resources for food production. It would benefit everyone. So where do you get your plastics to make your paint? Oh, I just want to talk about sustainability as you're designing products. So 100% recycled plastic jars, cadmium-free alternatives. So they have the hues available. If you're an animal lover, 89 of the colors have no animal-based ingredients. The only product that we still have to have is PK9, which is called ivory black, but it's actually bone black. It's made from burnt bone. And that black is still, I mean, it's a recyclable product, I guess. It's making sure we're using the whole animal as well. But if you are a vegan, probably stay away from ivory black. I'll still use it anyway. And again, it's not made from mineral oil. It's made entirely from end-of-use plastics. And I guess reclaiming and manufacturing from plastics uses less CO2 in the process than actually trying to get the fresh petroleum to make your paints. So I think this is wonderful acknowledgement to sustainability. And you can look for these labels on many products coming out of Europe as people are being responsible about where they're getting things manufactured and how they're making them. So where does this innovative binder come from? Recycled tires. Look at all that. Like if we could just like not have that break down in the soil and cause all the environmental issue, but we can reclaim it and make it into oil. And I know what you're thinking, that black sludge, I don't want that. Ooh, it's probably yellow, right? Oh, icky tires. Nope. I screenshotted the video that Schmincke has on YouTube, which you can watch if you want to see Schmincke and how they launch their products. But this is their drawdown sheet, and you see the very clear medium on both black and white. It is pretty impressive. And this clarity of binder, if you know from normal polymers, the polymer is quite milky when it's wet.
Can I interrupt for a sec?
Yes.
You're flip-flopping between saying bio-based oil and bio-based polymer. Can you clarify which, are we talking about one or the other or both?
I think we're talking, I'm using them interchangeably because I don't know the difference actually. I should look into that more.
But we're talking, okay, so but we're talking about acrylics, not oils.
Right. Right, but acrylics are made from petroleum, which is an oil.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's still oils. It just happens to be something that washes up with water. Yeah.
Now we're all real confused. Continue.
Yeah. So we are talking tonight about acrylics and bio-based oil that goes into the making of acrylic. So let's call it polymer just to keep it. That's what we're talking about. Thanks, Michelle. You're right. You're right. Okay. So this absolutely clear new medium has this unique property of there's no color shift when the acrylic dries. Pretty cool. I will prove it. So here they have made both heavy body and fluid colors for us to enjoy. I'm just going to see if this works. This click and play. Yes, allow. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, yeah. So pretty. Can you hear the music?
No.
Anyway, that's how liquidy it is. It's like liquid gold. Pretty attractive. Now let's see, how do I get out of that? Go back to, wow, okay. I'm just gonna shut that off. Oops. There. I'll come back to that. Sorry, there's really funky music coming with that big flow of paint. Did you guys see the flow of paint and everything though?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. I just thought that was a lovely way to launch a fluid acrylic. So heavy body is a traditional acrylic, and then the fluids are when you want big field painting, big backgrounds, large areas covered quickly. It's so much easier to dilute and paint with a fluid color rather than, you know, trying to get that chunky heavy body to spread across the page. So that's your choices there. I thought, yeah, I'm going to give you this look, which also will not have music, but they're not talking in the video anyway. So I just want to show you one way that one artist is using the paints. It's nice little. I feel bad you can't hear the music. So base coating with this lovely glowing color, still letting the white of the canvas show through in parts. And then this paint has such good covering. Yeah, it's quite amazing. Anyway, enjoy the fastest rabbit painted ever. I also like how the little magenta is highlighting around the outside of the animal so that the fur shows up really well. And then the titanium white is such high covering. The little strokes of whiskers stand out really nice. So fluid is also great if you want something straight out of the container and you just paint those fine lines in real quick. So yeah, you could watch that 3 or 4 times. If you don't follow Schmincke_official, you should. They often do a lot of free giveaways. So check them out. Their videos are getting really good. So I can close that now. Boom. There we are. Okay, and there's new color sets. So if you have difficulty choosing colors, you can just get the color sets. And I want to talk about these 2 ones here, the new colors and the white. Those are fun. I didn't bring in the black set because I'm like, how many blacks do you need? And now that I see them, I wish I will. So the next order we have coming in will have the blacks. But Perylene black, I will be demonstrating Mars black and carbon black, and then mixed with their 3 new whites and all this range of beautiful grays that you can make. Perylene black being Michelle's favorite. So I will demo that this evening. 3 whites they make. So if you haven't experimented with zinc white, I think this chart shows really well. So we've got the 5 colors of acrylic, and then in the middle one is titanium white, which is your most opaque. It is your most high tinting strength. It takes your bright color and makes it pastel instantly. And you can also see it covers over the black line most opaquely. There's that beautiful Perylene. Perylene black green, really cool. And then zinc white is a little bit warmer. It's also more transparent. So when you mix it with a color, it doesn't tint it as much, but you can maintain the color's transparency and you can see the color shift is not quite so pastel. But then there's zircon mixing white. I asked Schmincke if it was made out of diamonds, like zirconium, and they said no, but I think it is. Anyway, it's pretty lovely. It's pretty lovely. Highly transparent, very, very warm, and it just does a nice elevation of that color while still retaining that transparency of your transparent colors. So if you've ever done glazing and wanted to still lighten something, but didn't want to get that opaque chiclet, you know, on the cheek of something, you can now lighten it with something that's a little bit more subtle, even more subtle than zinc white. However, in your color mixing, if you're trying to really tint that color, you're going to be using a lot of zircon mixing white. So don't use it for making your color pastel. You'll be using too much white, but do use it when you need to lighten something just a little bit while having it be transparent. I just think it's a beautiful paint, and I will demonstrate those too. So yes, of course, promo codes always follow our presentations. So the little Schmincke owl is our promo code, OWL 2025. If you shop online or in the store, you'll save 20% on all of PrimACRYL. It expires April 30th. And of course, do follow on Instagram, Schmincke and at the paint spot. That'd be great. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to now, I was going to play the video and change my screen. I'll play the video again, and then you can, well, I changed my screen. It's just so good. Maybe there it is. Okay, so I'll keep that on the screen while I turn my camera off. Okay. Also, if there's any questions that you guys want to ask, I can still hear you while I'm making the changes. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm still here. I just turned off my camera. And I think my camera's on. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. I hope.
Yep. Good.
Oh, yay. And am I still spotlight? Still spotlight on me? Is that okay? I'm still big screen?
Just the big screen is on.
Okay, great. Here's
With your cord going through it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, friend. It's like having a toilet paper on your shoe. Okay, here we are. So a lovely color chart. There's metallic colors along the bottom. I hope you can see the shimmer, shimmer, shine, shine. But when you're looking at this color chart, I think what stands out to me is that it's kind of a unified sheen. There's not the glaring, you know, there are some matte colors and some glossy colors, but it's not as high contrast as in other brands. So I think that's also a nice part of the medium. So yes, we have actual color charts that you can look at, and I will send you a digital copy with tomorrow's email. So yeah, come and check out the real color chart. It's pretty lovely. I want to talk a little bit about the labeling of the tubes because there's some neat things about them. So Schmincke apparently invented this little sign. I hope you can see it. Is that close enough? The little square will tell you if it's opaque or transparent. And now it's an industry standard. Lots of people have it. So here you can see it's a transparent color. Here you can see it's an opaque color. And the label also shows. So one miss they decided not to do is the sacrifice of being able to recycle this product is they couldn't put actual paint on the label. So Schmincke in-house does their own scanning and printing, so they're able to get a pretty good representation of the color on the label. But one thing I think they did really well is when you have your colors turned upside down, you still have the label that you can see the color. So that's a kind of a nice thing. You also see the light fastness rating. So more stars, the merrier, highly light fast colors. And they also show the pricing group on the label. The lid, I think, is an exceptional addition. If you've ever had paint glued, look at how much room you have between the neck and the paint jar. That's great for being able to, if you have arthritis in your hands, you have a big lid to get a hold of, and you won't have paint glued to the surface. Also, the neck is really long. So you've got good, can you see it? Yeah, it's really long. And look how big it is in the opening. Other paints are so tiny. Look at how much the opening is. I have lots of time scooped back paint into my tube to save it. Not a best practice if you've got lots of things contaminating, but if you've ever blobbed out too much paint and then wish you could suck it back in the tube, this will allow you to do that. So I thought that was a great addition. The tubes, yay. Okay, so heavy body and fluid. Right now, the fluid is launched just in these massive 250 ml containers. Again, Schmincke believes that you'll be painting, 4 foot by 5 foot. And so you need the big containers. We do have a sample size available, and I suspect they'll be launching these probably in 2026, a smaller version of the fluids. But right now, what we have are these. So that's fun. Okay, enough talking. Let's get to painting, right? Okay. There we go. So along with the presentation tonight, you will get your choice of whether you want a heavy body color, which will be the PrimACRYL Red Dark or PrimACRYL Rubine, one of my favorite colors, or whether you want the ever popular cobalt teal, the one that gets discontinued and brought in and discontinued in so many lines. So these are available to you for attending this class tonight. Just send me an email, let me know which one you want, the fluid or the heavy body, and the sample will wait for you. If you're from out of town and you're ordering anyway, just make a comment in your order and my staff will add one in for you. So add fluid or add heavy body. One is the teal and one is the PrimACRYL Rubine or PrimACRYL Red Dark. Very nice. Look at these colors. They're so pretty. So this is PrimACRYL Rubine or PrimACRYL Red Dark. I say both, but I think one's German. PrimACRYL Rubine is German and PrimACRYL Red Dark is the English version. Violet Deep, which is like your dioxazine, and Anthra Blue are some of my favorites. And let's see about this color shift. Is it true? Will it look the same wet as dry? I'm going to do them all. Violet Deep, where are you? There you are. Violet Deep. And Anthra Blue. I think I'm organized. Oh, that was way too much. I can put it back in the container. Oh, I lost my palette. So literally I would just go like this. Got to put it right back in. Precious little thing. Okay. A little bit of water. I always wet my brushes first because you never know what they were doing last time. They might have paint on them. And then let's see. So this I did thin out quite a bit. I think it's darker to start, really. It is, I don't know how to describe how luscious this is to paint with. It's got a nice tack to it. And then we can thin it down and see the undertone. It's so pigmented. There we go.
I don't know whether you can prevent this or not, but you're getting a lot of light
Glare.
back.
Glare.
Yeah, a lot of glare.
It's right above me.
There you go.
And maybe
Wow.
raise it up. Does that help?
Yeah.
Good, thank you. Okay, now that I've contaminated all my water and my paper towel, let's see that deep blue. So of course things are wet, they're going to look darker. Oh, did I lose somebody? Just going to close that. Okay, there we go. So nice. Just a nice body to paint with, and then a little bit of water. And get to that undertone, stretch it out a bit. There we go. Okay, and then Anthro Blue. Yeah. So this is what I've noticed. It's a very, very fast drying. Like that was dry. That is incredibly fast drying. So retarders are essential if you're painting a lot with this product. But when it initially sets, if you catch it in the first 20 minutes, you can redissolve it again. I don't understand it, but you can. I was working on a ceramic palette and was able to completely liquefy the paint, done in the same hour. But once I left it on the disposable palette for 12 hours, I was not able to scratch it off the palette. So it is an interesting paint. I don't know if you can see the undertones of that, but it's lovely. So I think it looks richer when it's dry as all, or wet as all things wet do, but it's not going to darken. Like what you see is what you get, really. And super fast, like that's dry already. So fast, so fast. Which I'm happy because acrylics don't dry fast enough. Here I'm using mediums. They have a gloss medium and a matte medium. And I've put a little bit of product on here ahead of time to show what it looks like dry. And then I can add color on top of it. So if I take my purple and wet it down till it's washy, the gloss medium will repel the paint a little bit. So it's revealing that that paper is protected. And then you can even wipe it away and create kind of a highlight. Not cool. And the pigment will stain the paper. So sometimes I'll use gloss medium as a bit of resist for mixed media projects. I love that one. And then let's use the same color on the matte, just to exaggerate. Yeah. This has a very nice plaster kind of feel to it. Really, really absorbent and quite brittle. I wouldn't recommend the matte medium on a surface that isn't rigid because it will crack. And in fact, I tried coating washi paper and it just flaked right off. Like washi paper was too thin. It is such a weird medium. So let me show you the gloss medium is what you expect it to be.
Kim, can I just double check? You've put dots on the gloss side.
Yeah, I put dots.
Are there dots on the matte side or is it just all over?
No, it's just a spackly kind of texture because it doesn't, oh, I have another sample here. Thanks for asking. So here is another sample I did where I put the gloss medium down in squares and then wiped it off. And I tried to do the same thing with the matte medium. And because the matte is so thirsty, it grabbed the product just like the paper did. So when I did this one, I knew just to do the dots and then just provide a bit of nice toothy plastery texture to the other side. That's a good question. Thank you.
Okay. Do you want us to interrupt with questions from chat or wait till the end?
I'm happy to be interrupted anytime.
So we do have a question about compatibility with other acrylics, which I think is a really good question, whether it can be mixed with like other acrylic mediums like Golden or Holbein, or whether it's too unique and it should just be used by itself.
They have said you can intermix them. But I found some weird stuff. So I would like to do some testing before I know. But yeah, that's a good question.
But hey, happy accidents, right? Who knows?
Well, hey, I've got some, let's see. Okay, so here's some cobalt blue from, I'll put it on let's just see what happens. A little bit of cobalt blue from Holbein.
We could have a contest.
This is live bombs. We're making bombs.
We could have a contest, and whoever can come up with the like weirdest paint fail mixture like wins a prize.
I think that's
Like,
valid because
look what I got it to do.
you know, manufacturers make stuff, but they don't, and they think how they think, but they don't know how we're going to use it. So let's do a pretty mixture. Let's do quinacridone magenta with ultramarine blue. That should be. Ooh, this will test tinting strength as well. You know, I only have like 2 feet. How do I lose palette knives? Can you see it from your? Yes, I can. There we
Yes.
are. How do I lose the palette
Above your
knives?
water.
Oh my God. Okay. I should have warned you up front that this is a bit of comedy routine I have going here. Can you see this okay?
Yep.
So this is golden, no, Holbein mixing with Schmincke. I think it's lovely. We got a great purple. Look at that. Ooh. Ultramarine blue and magenta, we knew that was going to happen. So I see loveliness. Of course, I'm going to say that Schmincke improved the body of the golden because it's an unusual. Okay, and then we had black, and I'm going to mix black with May green, just because May green is such a transparent color. I love it in watercolors. It is one of the few mixed pigments, but if you've ever struggled making spring greens, May green is your friend. Let's just see what happens when we get a bit of black. Yeah, no problem there either. In fact, it really mixed quick. Let's add some more. Let's live on the edge. So now I'm just going to wait and see if it cracks. It's going to be fine. So outcome, yes, you can mix them.
What is your background? Is it a palette paper?
Yes, it
okay.
is palette paper.
Okay.
Yeah, just for smooth. Oh, and can you mix them all together? Ooh, green and purple. Watch the gray. It's gonna be beautiful. Oh, still too green, too purple. I have to take all the green, sorry. So, yeah. Look at that brownie color. Anyway, I don't know if that colors show up where you are, but I'm doing my color jot stuff and I'm really excited with purples and green mixtures for getting browns. I hadn't really done it that way before. Okay, so to answer the question, can you mix them? Yes, I think they work fine together. Really fine together. Okay, back to this guy, which is, oh, now that we've got that color, perfect. Now I'm going to take acrylic binder. Now this is this is their traditional bio-based, plant-based acrylic binder, not the pure made from recycled tires. Gloss medium, adding to your color to add transparency and flow. Well, let's take it all and see what color we get. So a little bit more stubborn to mix. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, it'll take the medium as well, but I felt that it went granular before it mixed. I don't know what caused that. Oh, that's nice color. Okay, so let's scrape all that aside and put it over there. And let's do my favorite color combination if we're going to show color mixing with the gloss medium will be phthalo green, phthalo bluish green, and purple. So this is quinacridone violet. This is phthalo green blue shade. So basically a green and a purple. Love it. Very reddy purple. Just like jump off the page at you. Quinacridones are so lovely. And then your ever bossy, hard to control phthalo green. And I'm going to do this with a brush. So what makes purple? Blue and red?
Mhm.
Not very often. Have to have the perfect blue and the perfect red. Of course, we've already got purple here. So yes, we're going to make purple if we add green to purple. Oops, I went too far already. Let's get there. I'm trying to get to dioxazine. There we go. Did we get to dioxazine? Absolutely did. Nope. There we go. Can you see it in the undertone? Tell me when
There's
you
a lot
see
of glare on your paper. I can't see it.
like that. Is that better?
Tip it up. That's better. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm trying to get the undertone. Can you see that lovely dioxazine purple undertone? I think I can even add more. There we go. Okay, if I keep adding the purple though, or the green, halfway through I'm going to get to a really kind of nice blacky color. But somewhere there, I add, I'm going to get blue. I'll get blue. You won't believe it. Can you see it? Can you see? It's hard to tell if I'm seeing, you know, my camera, your screen. If it feels too red still, or if it feels too green still, add a bit more. There we go. Okay, see if I can get this scraped away. I'm gonna add it onto here. Can you see the blue undertone? Oh, I know. Let's add white to it. We'll get there. Titanium white, because it will show. Can you see the blue? Isn't that amazing? Am I off the page? No.
Not quite, no.
So it's a dull blue, but it is a nice though. Yeah, we're getting there. So pretty. Yeah, there we go. Who knew you can get blue from purple and green? Crosses over that spectrum just a little bit. Love it. Okay. Gloss medium. That's what I wanted to do, is mix something I could get a gloss medium with. So let's try. Medium. It dries so quickly. I'm hoping this will keep it wet just a little bit longer too. There we go. So liquefies it, stretches it out a little bit, and adds gloss. That's so smooth. So now I can come over here. Just nicer. And then you have to tell me if you see a color shift when it dries or not. I don't think so. And really fun color from purple and green. Love it. Okay. You're not excited. I didn't hear one wow. I'm so my biggest magic trick ever. Anyway, then
We're all muted, silly.
okay, that's right.
Wow.
Well, thanks, Michelle. I was like, I'm used to a classroom, right? You get the reactions. Anyway, now I'm going to show you this crazy medium called matte medium, which I don't understand it. I know what a matte medium is supposed to do. It's supposed to act just like a gloss medium, but turn things matte. But look at how thick this is. It's like thick. And it won't be shiny because it's gouache-like. It's matte. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna clean. And okay, but this is gonna blow your mind. So that's a lot. I'm gonna take off some of it and save it. Okay, and what else do we know when we mix acrylics to a matte medium? The color usually lightens, and lightens a lot. I'm going to start with brilliant orange here. I don't know, would you say that's half?
Yep.
1/3 maybe? It's unbelievable. What? What? Did it lighten it? Hardly shifted the color at all. Let's grab some more. See if we can make it go lighter. Isn't that amazing? Like that's unheard of, that a matte medium doesn't lighten the color so much.
Kim, you're
Usually-
getting a bit more glare again. Can you tip it a bit? There. Oh,
Yeah.
there. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So just a reminder what we started with before we added all that matting agent to it. Where's my red orange? What color orange did I say? Brilliant orange?
Brilliant orange.
Good. I found it. Yeah. So that's crazy. But as it dries, it's gonna go chalky. It's gonna lighten. It's shocking. So here's the sample I did earlier. This is the same colors done in gloss and then done in matte. Isn't that crazy? So I'm like, what is this matte medium? Then I used the gloss medium as a collage adhesive. It worked well, and coated over it. It went glossy like I expected it to. But the matte medium over top of a collage is opaque. You can't, so don't put matte medium as a matting agent on top of your collage. Weird. So I'm like, what is this weird medium? So then I thought, well, maybe I'll try it as a coating surface. Oh gosh, too many things on the go. Where did it go? Where did it go? So I coated it on a canvas board, and it burnished like Venetian plaster. It was incredible. I think it was the neatest thing. Oh, here it is. I found it. Yay. So burnished it. It's so pretty. So flat. So burnishing it means I took my palette knife and I rubbed it into the surface. And then I took the lightest sandpaper my husband could find, some sort of metal polishing sandpaper, and just burnished the surface. And I got all the texture of the canvas pad in there, or the canvas, but it's smooth and beautiful. But then when you get it wet, this is just water, just plain water. Oh, I want my angly brush. It darkens with water. Ready? So now you can make your own vanishing image brush testing station with the matte medium mixed with green. I thought that was lovely. So I don't know, it's a good toy, but it is a lovely surface to draw on, a lovely surface to paint on, but make sure it's on something rigid, because I think if it was on flexible paper, it may crack. But that's an interesting product. But painting with it as an undersurface, yeah, see here, it crumbles. It's crumbling off. So I don't understand this medium. And I think, watch, I can just crack it. It will crack. So I have to get more yep, see, look how the little bits just flaked right off. So it's a weird medium. I'm going to keep testing with it and keep learning more about it. But it doesn't do what a normal matte medium will do. So don't get it if you're looking to make a gouache, because it's a little weird. So yeah, you're starting to see where it was applied thin, it's starting to lighten a lot compared to the color. Yeah, and I'll come back to that so you can see how much it's changed. So that's the weirdest thing. But this matte surface to paint on, matte medium as a surface to paint on, I think is lovely. I'm going to do some tests with colored pencil and pastel. With Posca markers, I think it would be really delicious. So if you want a ground that you can do Posca markers on, I think this might be it. Rigid surface. Okay. Michelle's favorite color, she borrowed me a little, I have a little package. So let's see this black, this green black. Just going to put it down here and here and here. And we'll see what it looks like as a translucent glaze, which is another reason you would use the gloss medium. Gonna go. And then I'm also going to mix some of it with the color. So you can see the difference of glazing with it versus mixing it. Titanium. So vanadium or bismuth yellow, and then Titan gold. Really cool. Oh, way too much. You can squeeze the paint and suck it right back in again. Right back in. And then cadmium red deep, or cadmium yellow deep. And am I getting shine on these ones? Not as much. It's funny how that's
you're
so
not. It's
shiny.
good.
No, it's good. Okay.
So
Okay.
far.
Yeah. So a lot of medium, and I'm going to just throw it over top of that.
And this is the gloss medium?
This is the gloss medium, yeah. Just to add some transparency over the yellow. Oh, that's got some potential. Okay. And different than when you mix the two together. And no medium, and it's just like, it's opaque, really opaque. So depending, such good covering, such a thick body, pleasant paint to work with. Let's see if I can get this one even more transparent. More earthy yellow. Am I still not too glossy?
No, you're good. To me, on my computer, it looks more Payne's gray than a green. In its entirety at first, and then when you
Yeah.
move over the yellow, then it turns green. But
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a zoom camera issue.
okay.
Yeah. So just a little different green. And then again, opaque. Less opaque. Let's read these yellow. I think all the yellows I chose are opaque, which I like. That means it has great covering if you've ever tried to paint over top of something with a yellow and it just doesn't work and you have to keep doing coats and coats and coats. Oh, lovely. So you don't see that green, you see it bluey on your
Yep.
screen?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see how it dries tomorrow then. That's good. Okay. And then just here with how opaque these yellows are. Yellow and yellow. So anyway, riveting stuff if you love color and if you're looking at it in person. So I will save these samples and you can certainly come in and look for them. Any questions, any other questions about these paints? We'll leave that there to dry. No. I can also vouch for the film integrity once this dries. Like as I said, I had it on a stay wet palette, and the next day you know how you can usually scratch it off? You had to really scrub it to even move it on the stay wet palette. And I got a blob of it on the yellow of my shirt. I am an expert at getting acrylics out of clothing. I don't worry about it. I know to use Windex. I know to use hand sanitizer. I know to soak it with hand soap and it will wash out. This in not even 7 minutes, I can't wash it out. I can't wash it out. So it's a really strong bond. So bonding to the stay wet palette and bonding to my clothes, there is some different film integrity here too, I think. So again, I want to know from the lab and from Schmincke if that's what they have noticed or planned on as well. But I thought those were interesting discoveries. None of my brand.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
So if it bonds that well, what about making skins with it?
I have to do some testing. Definitely don't make skins with the matte, but I'll have to do some testing as far as lifting. I hadn't done that. That's something I usually always test. Yeah, I think I didn't bother doing a skin because I don't have a gloss gel medium from Schmincke. Schmincke has many acrylic mediums, but they're relaunching them in 2026. So I don't have a lot to test. But what I do want to test while we're here is all these little pieces of paper everywhere. There we go. There's also a diamond gel, which is supposed to add a shimmer effect. And I haven't even opened this up yet, so let's do the shimmer technique together. Requests for color, green. Another request for color that we'd like to have be shimmered? No?
What about the black?
I don't have black.
Okay.
Oh, praline, you mean? Yeah, praline?
Sure,
Yes. Yeah.
that-
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And how about a red? Let's do let's do crimson. Quinacridone magenta, I think will be lovely. Give that a try.
Here's another good question from the chat. How do they smell?
They don't stink like acrylic, but don't have a great sense of smell anyway. So yeah, they're not, I don't think they're as smelly as some acrylics, but we'll do the smell test tomorrow. We'll do the blind, which acrylics smell the best. And
taste test?
Yes, a taste test. Probably not. Oh, I've got phthalo turquoise here. Let's try turquoise. Also a lovely color. Okay. With how about 50-50 gel? Let's just see what that looks like. My scientific, not really 50-50. How glary is it? Is it bad?
Can't see it up on the white background.
Oh yeah, of course. Looks like white on white. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. But maybe you'll see it as soon in a moment.
It's invisible.
Okay. Well, that was uneventful and subtle.
Oh, maybe it's different when it dries.
Yeah. Okay, so 50-50, need to use more, I think. Let's try the next one. Oh. Gosh, you think I hadn't painted in a while. Okay, let's see, magenta. Yeah. That's interesting. Interesting that I was expecting it to be like a pearl medium. Diamond gel.
Is it lightening them at all? It kind of looks like it's lightening them, but I don't know if that's just the light.
I'm feeling like it's transparentizing them. Like I agree, like when you spread it out, I'm seeing the color through, I'm seeing the paper through them. Yeah, okay, how much exactly do I have to use? Ooh, maybe it's like
Is it more gel, less color?
yeah, I bet you it's more like the golden thing where you use only 1% color.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be amazing when it's dry. It looks like nothing now, but I can tell.
Can you see the flecks in it now?
I can see flecks in it now. I don't think you guys can.
No.
But it's gonna be beautiful.
You just made your own interference color.
Yeah, it's not an interference because it's pearl, but I think it's closer to how you would, I'm making a mess. Honestly, what kind of child am I today? Oh, it's okay. I'll just take a little bit of that. We'll see. Yep, it's highly pigmented, so a little goes a long way. Oh, now I got purple coming because I mixed the turquoise in it. Oh, yeah, this is subtle. This isn't.
Can you bring it closer to the? Yeah, no.
Can't see much.
No.
Okay. But I'm working with it. It's a delicious consistency, and it's not a crafty sparkle. It's something I think a little bit more sophisticated in it. I love the translucency. Okay, here we go. Big thing of that phthalo turquoise I want to see for sure. So I might have to send you a picture of this tomorrow when it's, yeah. Oof.
And what was the
Like,
name of it again?
this
The-
is called diamond gel. I'm not doing a very good job selling it, but did you see how little paint it takes to get something really neat? Anyway, okay. Now can you see it? You only see the shine, you don't really see the shimmer, right? Can you see? How about
Look
that
how
way?
well that would do on
No.
the jelly plate. It looks really beautiful.
Mm. Oh, jelly plate with PrimACRYL. Oh, Judy.
I-
Yeah,
You're
you
getting
have
me in
to-
trouble, ma'am. Getting me in
it would-
trouble.
it dries so quick, you'd have to use a lot of harder.
No, that's okay. People like fast drying on acrylic on the gels because then they reactivate it again. So we'll have to test how well this will activate and lift. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah,
So on our
greenies.
website, under the PrimACRYL Diamond Gel, it says Diamond Gel for a subtle shimmer effect.
It is subtle, but it's
Translucent and will lighten the color slightly.
yeah, I can see just a teeny tiny bit of pebbling. But what I really enjoy is the consistency, like a soft gel consistency. I would use this even without the shimmer, and the shimmer would just be the bonus, honestly. I think it's going to be pronounced more and more, and this will color shift a lot when it dries. I can tell. Can you see that blue? Can you see it? It's a little spacey. Oh,
I wonder
well.
if you can put the Diamond Gel on top of a dried color, whether that would show it more.
Well, I have dried color here. Let's try
Yeah.
that. So this is a great group project. Thanks, guys. We're learning together, which is the best way.
Does it say the effect of the diamond gel on the drying time?
Not on the container, but I think it's slowing it down just because it's thicker.
And there's a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. On top of a thin coat right across the purple. Oh, yep. Yeah, you'll be able to see it. I think. Can you? No, it's pretty tiny.
Oh, yeah, slight. Yeah, I can see it now a little bit. Definitely subtle.
I think this would be a great varnish, honestly.
Mm.
It's got, yeah, it's like a little bit of magic. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, I can see it. I'm gonna put it on this too, on the red, because like, why not? Even though I'm supposed to be talking about color shift. Oh well. Oh well, we'll make another one. Okay. I wonder how thick I can do it. Uh-oh. Okay.
Might go chalky.
Yeah. See, it's gonna dry clear, I'm sure. Okay, there we go. Okay, I will leave it until tomorrow, but there it is, quite thick. You can see it's quite milky, but I think it's going to dry clear. Okay, not as exciting. Okay, chic. I have so much paint on my desk. Okay. If you do this to your container, if you do this, you can't even see this white blob, but I have like scooped and scooped and scooped. What I do when I put them away is I make sure to tap it all down, clean off the edges, and everything goes flat. Because if you leave all those knife marks in, that gives so much surface area for things to dry and get hard edges. So if you take your containers and just give it a good tap, everything will level flat. Nice. Okay. One thing I really, really did love were the varnishes. I varnished some stuff. I varnished lots of stuff. Where did I put it? There we are. So this was a older I think it was a tempera painting, like the Masterclass Tempera, which is waterproof. It's actually a paint made with latex instead of acrylic polymer. So it's very fast drying, and it was done on a Canson illustration board, which I really like. So down the center is unvarnished, and over here you can see where it's glossy. So clear, so easy to put on, so nice and self-leveling, ready to use right out of the container. There's the the gloss medium. It's just like that. So really liked that for how easy it was to use. And then over here, which you can't see at all, is, I don't think you can see it at all, the matte medium. So matte paint on matte paper with a matte medium, just finished it off with no cloudiness, no, yeah, it's really nice. Didn't yellow on the white paper. So that was the matte varnish. Again, straight out of the container, no reason to dilute it. And it does have a slight aroma, but it's not like a, it smells like alcohol, fruit. Somebody with a better nose is going to have to, but it's nice. It's not like, you know, the Amsterdam solventy smelling varnish or the real strong odor of an MSA. It's a pleasant little varnish. So yeah, I thought that was a win. I really liked it. Okay. And then I played around with using gloss medium on a collage piece so I could have areas that were shiny little bubbles around the fish. And on top of the chiagami, and the rest of it was matte. So matte and gloss in one painting. Customers have been asking me if that's possible to do. And yeah, I would do the gloss first and paint the matte around, or do the whole thing matte and then add gloss afterwards, depending on what layer you want to show. Yeah, it's kind of neat. So the other weird thing about the varnish is it smeared PigmaPen. I've never had that happen with acrylic varnish, but here I tried to varnish just the raccoon, and I was actually able to move the PigmaPen around like I was doing a watercolor marker thing. So all the shadow that you see in this piece was because the marker moved with the varnish. Yet when I use that same varnish on top of Posca, which always moves on a varnish, Posca didn't move at all. In fact, I put it on really heavy and kind of scrubbed it, and I got nothing of the Posca moving. So weirdness, not good and awesome. So depending on what you want to do.
How soon was it before you applied the varnish?
Same day, but like hours later. Hours later. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it should dry quickly. Also, I just want to revisit those whites again because I have another chart. I love charts. So here you can see all the different colors I used. And then the first one is titanium white. The second one is zinc white, and then zircon is there at the end. So lighter, subtler. Yeah, I thought those whites are quite lovely. Okay. So titanium white being the most opaque, zinc white being more transparent, and zircon being the most transparent. I think that shows pretty good. Yay. Okay, so yeah, there's some dry. Yeah, see, this is on a plastic palette. I can't scratch it. If that was any other acrylic paint, I would, and that's a mix now. That's just, it's weird, man. Oh, that's still wet. It's still wet, but yeah. Okay. Any other questions about what we should do with these products while I've got them in front of me? Going back to this one, it is drying a little darker, but still hard to see the shine. But look at the glow of that phthalo turquoise. Mass tone, undertone. Loveliness. Okay. I know you're all waiting for me to paint the bird and I'm stalling. So the surface I like to paint on is the illustration board, just for these fun little 8x10 projects. I'm not a fan of the texture of canvas, so I tend to like paper surfaces, and I don't prime it. You don't need to prime things when you're working with acrylics. And this one happens to be illustration board. It is the Canson Plein Air series, and they make them in watercolor, mixed media, illustration, and you can get a canvas pad texture on these boards. I think they're really super easy to frame, and I love just varnishing them and sticking them in a frame. Very nice. And I paint my acrylics kind of in a watercolor technique. Oh, I wanted to show you color mixing too. did I do with them? There we are. Okay. So I did some color wheels just to see how I liked the mixing, and couple colors came out. So this is a cad yellow hue, quinacridone magenta, and phthalo turquoise. And you can see the range of tones that it makes. Again, you're getting a great purple, not just a great purple, but also all the shades of purple and all the shades. Look at that dark blue, phthalo turquoise mixed with purple, giving you that dark bluey purple. You can't get any other way, really. The subtle difference of taking phthalo turquoise and a teeny tiny bit of yellow, instantly you got a different color. Working towards the center, that's just adding more water to let the white of the paper show through. I like painting quickly like that. Then below here, I have my complementary colors. So I have 1 and number 10 mixed together. There's my browns, there's my ochres, burnt umbers, just these complementary mixings. So just 3 colors, when they're single pigments, can give you 99 colors like this. And I will do these several times just to see. So here side by side, it's still a yellow, red, blue combination, but they're different. Different purples, different greens, oranges. This is a little richer, this is a little orangier. And again, the secondary complementaries, different greens along here. And so when I'm choosing my photos or my reference material or what kind of mood I want to have in my painting, I might have several of these and then choose. It's not really the bright colors. I'm actually looking in the middle. I'm looking here for the colors that I want to work with. So these neutral tones are my happy place. And then I came across this one, which is my favorite. That's my favorite. So this is bismuth yellow or vanadium yellow. That's that pyrrole red dark, the one that comes as your free sample. And then phthalo blue cyan. And I love these deep, dark colors. This is not where the bright purples live because it's just too orange of a red that I'm using, but I love those dark colors. I love that they're moody. My greens are bright and useful. My oranges, a little bit more fleshy, not as bright as, say, the other oranges. Because again, my red is just a little darker and duller. This yellow, of course, is closer to the orange. It's going to make better oranges. This one's getting closer. It's so cool. It's getting closer to the greens. It's going to make different oranges. So all 3 of these, just 3 colors, making 99 colors. So I decided to go with this set A and do a sample painting using them and then showing off, trying to work with just the cool colors on the top and then the warm colors on the bottom. And I just want to point out, this has not been varnished. And can you see how lovely satin that finish is? Very even, very leveling. It is so pleasant to paint with. I really enjoy just, and you can place it, there's a certain kind of stickiness. It's not a slippery paint. It's got a sticky kind of, where you place it is where it wants to be. And I love that it dries fast. It means that I can do color on top of color without contaminating my brush. I just layer it and layer it and layer it. Working with the gloss medium, it's very transparent. I can get all these lovely subtle mixing tones in that background. So yeah, it's a lovely paint. And I did, yeah. So I'm doing color theory classes. So yeah, I'm doing lots of color mixing. So here is what I decided was my perfect range of Schmincke colors in the PrimACRYL to give me the best range of this area I love to live, which is right there. So if you want to know these colors, these charts are in the store and you can work with them. The reason I like to go with 18 colors is then forever I have the ability to pull any 3 colors I want from this color wheel. And I'm really enjoying working with secondaries instead of primaries for my painting so that I can get those earthy blues by mixing them rather than buying them, which is not what you've ever been told, is that you can mix a blue, but you can mix a blue. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Yay, color theory questions. Also, if you like the charts, they're my stencils. So I have 7 different designs of color theory stencils. So if you're ever teaching color or you want to start your own color reference book and have these pretty designs, they will be available shortly. So stay tuned.
Kim, I thought this was a Schmincke talk, not a color jot talk.
Slide it in there. I didn't talk about brushes either. I can certainly talk about brushes, but yeah, I know I had to slide it in there. Nobody asked me, but I thought I'd tell you anyway. So my favorite colors, what did we decide they were? Vanadium, okay. Vanadium, bright yellow. That pyrrole rubine, where are you? You're over here. And basically phthalo blue, which is a cyan blue. Lovely. So again, my reference photo is going to be this chubby little baby bird. And there'll be no black used in the painting of this blackbird, and the white won't remain pure white either. So I always fold my reference photos so that I can see the halfway points, and that will help me with the placement. And I used to draw the lines on my page to help me stay, you know, just keep the face in that area. Now I feel I can kind of eyeball it. And I don't know if that should sit there. I have to stand it up anyway. Sorry you can't see it on camera. But if you want to watch. So here's where I say ask your questions and I can hopefully talk while I paint. And if you have to run away, I don't mind. And if you want to stay and watch me paint, that's fine too. If you want to paint along, that's fine too. So watch for my email tomorrow. Okay, and I'm just going to use zinc white because that's where I am familiar with, wherever my zinc white went.
Do you use zinc white quite a bit?
No, I meant titanium white, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Like, really?
No, if I use zinc white, I kind of use it on its own as like a glaze on top of something I want to make more atmospheric, or to highlight a cheek of something, or to add that translucent edge to a cloud. I kind of use it on top as just like a little ghosty whitener. Oksana, you're on the line. Do you use zinc white in your portrait classes?
No, I don't. It's even when I do scumbling, it's still with either fast drying white or warm white or titanium white.
Yeah.
I wonder if the zircon.
Oh. The lead white is amazing, but not using it. It's bad for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Since zircon is warmer, it might be more appropriate for portraits in
Maybe,
acrylic.
yeah. So here I'm adding a lot of water because I'm working on a paper surface. I don't have to worry as much about film integrity. If I was working on primed canvas, I shouldn't be using straight water. I should be using my gloss medium that gives you strength, both to stick it onto the canvas surface and also to give you a nice strong film integrity. But yeah, I just want to point out how bright these are, even though I'm using very little. Okay, and the reason I don't take acrylic painting classes is because I paint in this style that honestly makes no sense, which is like, hey, take yellow. Yeah, I know there's no yellow in that painting, but put yellow anywhere where it's not white or not black. Just kind of sketch it in somewhere there, but it works for me. I don't know, it's painting style. So I'm going to say, here's his little beak. There's where his eye's going to go. That's going to come down. He's going to go here. That's going to be his big chest. That's going to have the outline. And I'm using, this is a Mitelon brush. It's made by a Canadian company, Heinz Jordan, and it's a real stiff hair brush. And can you see how it wants to spread out? which is perfect when I'm trying to like flick, flick, flick and get the feathers. It's just so nice that it does that. So I like this angle brush. The angle brush is also great. I can go with a fine line if I want it, or I can paint broadly if I want it. So it's a real fast way of getting your color down quickly when the same brush can do all the marks you want it to. Okay, and that's it for that color. Just gonna make it speak out there a little bit better. And I have to move the eye down because it's so light. That's great. I can ignore that, or I can add a darker color. And then I'm going to come in with the opposite color, which is blue. And I don't want to use straight blue, so I'm going to make it real dull with a bit of yellow, but I don't want it to be too dark yet. So I just add a bit of yellow, but not enough to make it green. There, that looks nice. And I'm going to put this where I think the dark should go. So it's kind of like these findy colors. Yeah. So if I was teaching a class, you're like, what mess are you making? It's okay. The color is opaque. It's got great covering. This is just my washy underbit. But all these painty parts will show through when I add my highlights on top of it, and it'll look really soft and gestural. And I'm getting color mixing. I like that. And here I'm going to spread my brush apart and do some feathery bits. Make sure I got the shape of his chest coming out under his chin. That's also dark under the beak. There we go. And then where the white is, I do want to give some variety to the white areas. I tend to do that with blue. And then going to make it quite purpley on the underbelly. Can you see that little edge there? I'm going to work really hard to protect that, because that little gesture in the final piece is going to be what makes it look light and free. So even though it's just a swoosh, I think it captured what a feather would feel like. So that's why I paint fast and scrubby, because then I can get some of that. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit more darkness. Okay, so if you get a purple, if you get too purple and you want to dull it, the complementary is yellow. So grab some of that, and I'm going to get kind of I'm going to add white to it so you can see, look at that great gray. It's kind of neat. And I'm going to slam that in the background. And normally I would switch to a bigger brush because I'm lazy and I don't want to paint that much. At university, they told us to get rid of the white of the paper as quickly as possible before you even start making any judgments, really. Just get rid of that paper. It's distracting. And I know it doesn't look like anything yet, but that's okay.
He's very handsome.
He looks a little judgy already, doesn't he?
We've captured the plumage. So again, this is just all color. Remember when we saw the rabbit get painted, she used that very bright quinacridone violet and then covered over a lot of it, but it just played a little bit of interest in the background. So the same as this, rather than trying to do your straw first and then go back in and paint all the dark parts, I'm going to do this dull part and then go back in with my straw highlights, and all that dark tone underneath will be sitting there just like helping me. Okay. I normally don't paint quite this fast, but I feel like since you watch most of my videos and I've also sped them up, I feel like I have to like deliver in real life. Sometimes I like the dirty water. I think the dirty water is helpful too. So yeah, it's okay. Okay, now I've got too much cool colors going on. And I'm just going to add some red. And again, I'm going to put the red in some weird places that will just help. Just help. You're like, I don't see red in that bird at all. I know, but it will help me in a minute. I promise. You see how nice and transparent it's going in? I can still see my brush strokes underneath. And I'm getting a darker color as I layer more color on top of color. So if I was clever and taking my time, I will sometimes work to do warm colors where I know the bird is going to be volumetrically facing me, and I will save my purple. So my reds will sit here up on the shoulders, and I'll use the purples for these outside edges. But I'm being really, really loose this evening, which is okay. But if you think about warm and cools like that, you can do that. And I'm going to stick some red in the beak because I always like a bit of red in the beak and around the eyes. Okay, now he looks a little bit bloody, so we better stop. I like that highlight there. It's not in the photo, but I'm going to leave it there till the last. See if I can use it. Oh, remember that thing I was going to protect? No, I covered over it. That's okay. Okay, now I'm getting bolder with exactly where the darks are going to be.
That bird's looking slightly demonic.
Yeah, he's good, eh? So I want to point out too, I like when it's called interchange, and that's when the breast of the bird is darker than the background, but as it comes down here, the bird's going to be lighter than the background. And that's a really nice way to play with edges without actually doing an outline. So yeah, demonic bird, that's what we're going to call it. I know, it's like pit chaos. I also sometimes will work on like 3 birds in a series at a time. And when I get it and it gets all messy and lost like this, I sometimes will set it aside and work on another one and then come back to this one with fresh eyes. I paint a lot while my husband, we're watching TV and he goes for smoke breaks in the middle of a movie. And I timed him because I had to sit there and watch like the timer wait while he's having a smoke and I'm waiting for the movie to play. And it was 8 minutes and 36 seconds. So I'm like, I wonder how much painting I can get done in 8 minutes and 36 seconds. And I did a whole series of watercolors with 3 times of 8 minutes, because that's like almost half an hour. So I got quite a bit done. Okay, this doesn't even look like a bird, but it will in a minute. Okay, now we're using blue almost pure. I like using blue to stand in for black. It's a dark color and it's got a glow that is really lovely. And just get in there, teeny tiny like. Oh, he's looking a little kinder. He's got decent eyeballs. not green. Not green. Yellow.
It just occurred to me that you're
Oh, I'm going to show you how covering this white is. This is just like bam, white. Look at that. You just fix anything. A bit of highlighting and correcting fluid just as you go. See, that's that stiffness of the brush. I just get the feathers exactly where I like them. Okay, and what else do we need? Okay, and here's the big trick. Turn it upside down. Turn your source material upside down and see what all the stuff you did wrong. All the proportions that could be fixed. That wing needs to come way down. I'm gonna make that just a little bit bolder. Yeah, like it. It's not too horrible. Rid of the white. So here I have 4 different containers of water that I'm using. When I'm working in my studio, I have a whole ice cube tray because it gives me 12 chances to have clean water to draw from, and then I don't have to clean my water so much. But I thought this was a pretty little one I thought I'd bring for tonight. Okay, where are we at here? Now we need the dark. And we're going to make our black with a really dark purple and a bit of yellow, which seems counterintuitive because you think it might lighten it, but all it does is just takes the blue away, takes the purple away, makes it duller. I really like that. Okay, just where it needs to be dark. There we got black without doing black.
With the glare, it looks like you're actually painting it white. There you
Is
go.
it? There, yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
This is less glary, less glary. Stand it up,
Yeah.
right? Okay, sorry guys. Thanks for pointing that out, Shelley. Riveting stuff, huh?
Cool.
For heavy body paint, this is really smooth. Like you're not getting, you know, like ridges like you would with a heavy body golden or like
Again,
know.
my technique is a watercolor technique. I really let
Yeah,
the
but-
white of the paper glow where I could get it. I could do texture.
But you're not adding that much water, really, are you?
Yeah.
It seems smoother.
It is a nice, I think it's such a pleasant tack that I tend to I like to work it. Maybe with somebody who had more experience with oil would leave the brush strokes. I'm going to certainly work on trying to leave the brush strokes more, but I just love it's just, this is so satisfying. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm going to pull out oil paint and figure it out. Oh, this is great. Good black. Okay. Lots of area in there. Really dark under there. Just to make him pop a little. Just here. But I don't know if you can see how much color is actually sitting there in the bird. He's got lots. Where are we? Lots of color. Lots of glow happening. Yeah, the white is really getting bleached out, but there's lots of color happening in here.
Everything coming through is really, really quite nice.
Anyway, so there he is, right side up again. And now I'm gonna keep painting. But any other questions before I might leave this and come back to it tomorrow, because there's some really nice stuff happening in there.
The richness of the colors is really coming through. And I know it's the layering too, but I really think that the pigments are very nice in this color, this range. And I also wanted to say, you're pretty brave painting off the cuff like this in front of a bunch of other artists.
Ask Andrew how nervous I was today. I actually admitted, I'm like, I don't know. But I mean, this is how a painting is. And I don't think people realize that it's chaos until it's not, right? And it's just, I'll spend hours tweaking all the little colors and putting colors in and back and forth with the warm and cools. And then when it's all done, you're like, how did she ever come up with all those colors? It's like, well, I just kept having to correct it until it was right. So all those colors appear. So yeah, but yeah, this turned out better than I thought. And I think I'm going to not, like, the reference photo had, yeah, you can see I'm way off on the face, but that's okay. The reference photo had a brown background, and I think I'm going to make it go real dark. I think I want the bird to glow. So I'll be playing around with it. Maybe when I'm done, I'll send it out. But yeah, I don't want to keep you guys forever. And I really appreciate you joining me on this journey with this new acrylic. I mean, the other thing I want to mention is, you know, the world in the state that it is, the Europeans are really standing up for Canada. And Schmincke flew me this product in orders that I could get it as quick as I did. And they're very supportive, and it's lovely. And just down the road from Schmincke is Da Vinci and Faber-Castell, also in Germany. And go up to the north in Germany, you have Hahnemüller. So if push comes to shove, we can get paints and brushes and pencils and papers from our friends in Germany at quite affordable prices. They're really working with us. So if you are sort of a not buying American person, both the fact that it's European made and the fact that it has got this wonderful environmental story is what got me enamored to give it a try. And like I say, I don't have a vocabulary for how to paint with this beautiful paint, because it's, I used it all up on Golden. Golden's great. And I think we've proved they intermix. So that's good. Yay.
I agree with Judy, though, that we have to do some jelly plate testing with it. I'm really curious about the gloss medium and using it as a resist, like on the plate itself, and yeah, playing with how quickly it dries. Some quick layering might be. It's a world of potential.
It sounds like a staff play date to me.
Yeah.
Should we be closed? We could close tomorrow and just, I think that's fair, right?
Sure. Don't tell the boss. Okay. Well, I'm going to either change my camera or say goodbye. I'm not really sure.
You want
So-
to do more color mixing this Friday?
Oh, right. Thank you. In case you're curious about Color Jot, we are doing another Color Jot this Friday. It's 3 hours of color mixing with Kim, and you get to trace my stencils. And this week we're doing weird primes, which are orange, purple, and green. So yeah, you make a color wheel out of orange, purple, and green. And I do show art pieces done with them. So if you're interested in knowing more about color, stay tuned. The website is launching soon and the product is arriving soon. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I provide the paint. You just bring your books. I provide everything else. Yay. Thanks, Andrew, for the plug. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to turn my camera off and just switch it around. But no, it's my little mouse is.
So Kim, this is a question about ordering.
Mm-hmm.
So if we order on the website and we want to try the new products,
Yes.
and would we just put a note in the thing about which product we want as the sample? Is that how
Yes.
we do it? Or just
Yes.
come into the
Or
store?
just come in the store too. Yeah. Yeah. If you're ordering online, you can put it in the comments, or you can send us an email. That will work too.
Okay.
I'm upside down. That's really exciting. Brown. Oh, there, now I made you all seasick. Okay, yay. There I am. So yeah, ordering with OWL 2025 is your promo code, and just put in the comments whether you want the little cobalt teal or the heavy body in the pyrrole rubine dark. Oh, beautiful color. These two together, also lovely. I have that here. They're lovely together. Wow.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's fun. Very granulating together. They do that nice little fight. Nice little layer. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good evening, everyone.
You too. Take
Okay.
care. Good night.
Bye-bye. Oh, stop the recording.